Hey, I'm Lucas.
And my name is, well, you already know my name, because it's McDubbington's back at it again. And we had to record another commentary track, as is customary in the biz, as what we say. You know, Crispin Scout is not here today, so Lucas is filling in, and he's more than capable sound designer, as we like to call them.
Well, I mean, also technically, I think I worked more days on this particular project.
I mean, I worked more days. I just wasn't fully conscious, fully conscious.
So this scene was actually inspired by a dream that I had.
Oh yeah, I remember
that.
Was born. That was really it was
powerful. I told the director, what was his name, Vasily?
Vasily, I think Vasily Manili.
Vasily Manili. Yeah. Yes, that was. Yeah, I told him the dream, and then he took it and he called me up one day and he said, I'm going to make a film about this dream that you had. Would you be okay with that? Mm-hmm. And I said, I don't know, you'd have to ask my nephew, because it's about him.
Yeah.
And
did he ask him?
I don't think so, no.
Well, that's kind of rude, but I do, but at the end of the day, it got us paid, it got us work, and so I'm a big fan. Yeah. And I'll have to thank your nephew sometime. For the sound, we really wanted something guttural. We wanted something close to home. We wanted something Lithuanian. And this next part, I really like this next part, what we do. Hold on, wait.
That's really good.
You see, what I like I like how that's going on there, because you think he's going to say something, but he's just kind of gesturing. Yeah.
It's an interesting part where the baby really slides off the hand.
Slides out of the hand.
Yeah.
I thought that was... I didn't realize this was an animated film until a minute in.
Until he slid off.
Until he slid off.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, we're going to have to change the scope of this damn thing.
Yeah.
Oh, the tree scene.
Oh, this was
This
great.
took so many tries to get this right.
I wanted to record the sound of a tree growing in real time.
Yeah, and apparently trees grow really, really slow.
Very slow, very slow.
Really slow. We'd have to be waiting a while, and
quite kind of like this man.
Kind of like this man, because he gets the beard, and I love how long his beard is. By the way, it reminds me. Well, I won't get into that.
Oh, this isn't interesting.
Oh, the cloud.
Yeah, the cloud.
Oh, the cloud sword scene. Yeah.
You see, horses don't generally walk like this.
I think they do.
Oh, that was an interesting part too. I think I got that sound by I was this part.
I remember. No, you got the sound, the kind of like jolting sound.
Yeah, the jolting sound.
What happened was you had this glockenspiel set up that you were going to do, and you had like a rifle that would shoot the glockenspiel at the right time. But instead, what happened is you started recording, and right before you set it off, this grand contraption, as you were calling it, I coughed. And you said, wait a minute, do that again. And I coughed again, and he actually liked it so much. All he had to do was he sped it down. And we're already so far behind because so much action's going on right now.
I think that was a kazoo.
That was a kazoo.
I've always liked this part.
Mm-hmm.
I think I took my cat's purring, and I
right.
slowed it down to about 50% of the cat's general purring speed.
Okay, now this part, I feel a little silly saying this. This part was kind of funny. So some of the fans at home might appreciate this. So this scene, we wanted to have more sounds of the animals. And so what we did is, Lucas and I, we basically gathered every animal we could find, moose, deer, bear, polar bear, eagles, lions, deer. We tried to get them all, and we got them all into the studio. I was hoarding them in. Lucas, you were shoving.
They started calling the studio Noah's Ark.
They call it Noah's Ark, which is actually, if you look into it, that's a story.
It happened.
Noah, I forget his name. He had an arc, but
Yeah.
animals. We got a bunch of animals in the studio. We recorded it, and we were so excited. We went back to play it. It sounded awful. I mean, it was the worst. It was the worst damn thing. Excuse me for swearing. It was the worst damn thing I'd ever fucking heard in my entire fucking life.
Which is why we ended up not making the film. But to this day there is
To this day, there's bird shit, deer shit, and moose shit everywhere. We destroyed that studio.
Yeah, we did.
We had glass. The glass, like,
Are
we
the
can't
animals
even.
still there?
Well, there's been a beaver that's been kind of camping out. I think he took some of the recording equipment and he made a dam of sorts in the corner of the room, but he couldn't find water. Listen, I shouldn't be talking about these things. Oh, there's so much. Oh, I love. Hold on, wait, it's coming out. This is my favorite part. Wait, right here.
Wow.
That was a real horse, by the way. That was a real horse.
But then they animated it.
Well, I was talking about the sound. That was a real horse we used. We ripped it off from another movie, though. We didn't record it. It was a real horse, but we weren't record. We recorded
It was a real horse in a different
VHS.
film.
It was a VHS tape that I had of
a horse.
Of a horse. What's the movie with the horse in it?
It's called.
Heaven's Gate. Heaven's Gate. Michael Cimino's Heaven's Gate. I got a clip from that on my VHS, and hopefully, I mean, I've said the name of the film that we stole right now. Hopefully, he doesn't do anything about it.
I think he's
fine.
dead.
I think he's gone. I think he's long
gone. I met him once.
Oh,
I went to the Heaven's Gate
right.
premiere.
You sucker punched him.
I did.
It was awful. I literally gasped. It was terrible. It was the most horrible thing I'd ever seen.
I was going to say I have a VHS of a movie called Horse Majeure.
Oh, Horse Majeure. I think I've heard about that.
Yeah.
Is that good?
It is. No, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's about a lot of horses that are living on this mountain, and then one day they all kind of run down the mountain.
Oh, because they like run down the mountain.
Yeah.
And it's like.
Yeah, and then the character looks at the horses running down the mountain, and he goes, "That is a horse majeure."
Yeah, kind of like this part. Look at that infamous scene.
Wow.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was.
You know, I feel bad that they actually killed a real horse to make that. They rotoscoped a real horse that they pushed off a cliff. It was.
Well, they had to get the look right.
They had to get the look right. I mean, it would have looked silly if the physics were off. It wouldn't have worked.
Yeah. Back in those days, I mean, CG, of course, was not yet invented.
Oh yeah, CG. What is CG? It wasn't invented. Oh hey, we can cut this part out. Have you been seeing any good TV lately? I saw this new show. I think it's really good. It's called Seinfeld. It's like this comedian guy, and he has like this wacky roommate, like this like wacky like weird guy, and he like gets into like hijinks with like whatever. It'll probably go on for like a few more seasons, but I just want to tell you.
I don't watch TV.
Okay. I don't even remember this next part. Oh, the flask.
Oh yes.
This was based shofar.
Well, as you remember, I think you used to come into the studio and he would always drink out of a shofar. So the director saw that and he wanted to copy it. I always thought that was disrespectful, to be honest, to the faith.
I thought it was convenient. That's what I always thought. You know, it happened the first time I had a piping hot cup of coffee and I just wanted to see how it would be like. I wanted to see if I could drink the coffee and blow into a shofar at the same time. And you know, it just so happened that.
I mean, they are hollow. They're kind of.
They are hollow, and I mean, it felt kind of nice. It felt kind of nice. God forbid, you know, a Jew like me do anything like that in a closed studio. You know,
yeah.
and this guy sees me and says, "Oh, that's so strange. What if I made you, you know, into this feature? I'm gonna put that in my film." And I said, "Wow, what?"
Well, if you think about it now, I mean, you're a part of movie history. So.
I'm a part of. I was humbled by it, but I was also very hurt.
I like this part. I don't know why.
The first time I saw that part, and I hate to admit this, I spat up. I had a delicious tuna melt, and I saw that scene, and I got so dizzy that actually I spat everything up. The tuna, the bread, the cheese, the melt. It was everywhere. It was awful, and I hate to tell the viewers that, but I wanted you to know, because it was part of the artistic process.
This part reminds me of I was just talking to what was his Steven Spielberg?
Spielman.
Spielman.
Steven
Spielman the other day. He's a up and coming director.
He's a hack. He's a hack. Let's just be real. He's a hack.
But I don't know. I was talking to him because he wanted me to do sound design for his next movie.
Yeah, his next flop.
His next don't
flop.
pay him. I'm maybe gonna get this job.
Spielberg, if you're watching this, you're never going to amount to anything, and you won't make a single you won't make a single impactful movie ever.
I mean, not to this level.
Not to this level. God, that really is scary. That's a scary
I believe
thing.
this scene actually inspired George Lucas with what was this, the second Star?
The second Star, the Starman. Oh, Starman.
Starman.
Yeah,
Starman. The PT Cruisers and Starman.
Yeah. Also, we should probably talk about the sound here. So
should.
there's a lot of layers going on. I loved what you were doing with the kazoo. And I wanted to layer it.
Yeah.
It's mostly kazoo. And I wanted to get it layered here, because there's a lot of, I don't know if you guys are watching right now, there's a lot of stuff going on. And we kind of layered it with me kind of moving chairs around, kind of running around and scurrying around in the studio, as I like to do. I like to get on all fours and I like to scurry, and it's part of the process. It's part of what we kind of like to do. Yeah. Well,
I mean, generally our process was, for the listener, Marcus, you get on all fours.
Oh yeah. I'd squeal and I'd scurry and I'd eat some slurry.
A ball of yarn that I would throw around the room, and a laser pointer, and you would run after a laser pointer.
I don't even remember that happening, but I just remember I was so excited.
Yeah. Well, you get very animalistic when you're doing sound design. I think it taps into something primal within you.
That was me. Remember, I made that howl. I did that.
Right. Yeah. Okay,
I forgot about that.
That is all you. That's just a chorus.
That is all me.
That one's you too.
Oh, that was
and the me doing the kazoo a little bit.
Okay, that one was embarrassing. I apparently, it was a load-bearing wall that had been torn down, but lawsuit about that. I'm not gonna.
Oh yeah. I told the director, I said that the way he walks there is weird. No one walks that way.
What?
And he said animation, walking is
it's kind of
hard. Stylized. And I said, that's no excuse. You see, here I think the perspective is. I know we're not supposed to talk down about the film. I think the sound design's great, but
I think the sound design is incredible.
It's just the proportions are a little off on the actual, figure.
If I can be completely honest, I think this whole thing, this is one of the ugliest things I've ever seen. But that's just me.
Is he walking? Yeah, is he walking forwards?
Is he walking forward or backward? Like, is that?
I do like this part.
This part, I actually am a big fan of.
This is actually inspired by my backyard.
Really?
Yeah.
Did he model this up?
He modeled this backyard. Yeah. Those are I have two daughters who like to stoke flames in the backyard.
Yeah. You did always have that giant ass tree. I've been meaning to ask.
Well, it's a.
There's no way that's HOA compliant. There's no way.
I've had complaints from the neighbors, but I'm not cutting it down. They came over the other day. I said, if you cut down this tree, I'll burn down your house. I probably shouldn't talk about it. That's also actually you. That's your beautiful voice.
This is. I'm sorry for laughing. It's just such a stupid. It's like such a silly story because I remember we initially were going to use a choir of like professionally trained singers, but there's one day I thought I was alone in the studio, and I was singing a little ditty that I had in my head. I had stuck in my head, and I was singing it. And I look behind me, and I spit out my coffee straight out of my shofar, and there he was, the guy. He just did a single clap and looked right at me. And at that point, I knew what I had to do, and he was going to make me sing in the damn thing. And he said it was angelic, which I appreciate. It's just it's. I want royalties on it. That was my only issue. I'm okay with singing. I know my voice is beautiful. I know it's glistening. I know it's incredible. I know it's. I just put my heart and soul into it, but it's just I would like some royalties, and I'd like to be compensated a bit more. And we discussed this, and he didn't tell me. He said he was going to send me a letter about it. He said he was going to fax me, but it was just went to shit. So what the fuck's going on?
Oh, this is the part where they're moving.
Oh, is this the part where they're like moving the giant boxes?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Right.
I was really going crazy on the kazoos here. I remember fighting pretty hard for the kazoos on this project.
You were fighting very hard for the kazoos. You took that woman's eye out. Basically.
I did. Yeah. But
she deserved it. I'm sorry. She deserved. Can I just say she deserved it? Anyways, though, I really do like what you do with those kazoos.
This is kazoos too.
Oh, you slowed it.
Yeah, I slowed it.
Oh, the old 50%, the old maybe even 25%. It was faint. Like
if you kind of do a gradual, shifting down. That's you again.
Oh, it is.
That's me.
Oh,
did I tell you that's me, that guy?
That was you. I was wondering you did that.
Yeah, that's me.
I didn't because I didn't remember doing that. Wow.
I actually don't remember doing it, but it was me apparently.
Wow. Can I just I want to take this time to thank my mom and my dad for giving me such an angelic and beautiful voice, and you need to tell your parents the same damn thing, because it's really beautiful. I really love your work on this.
Thank you. Well, this is around the time that I think the whole tree situation in my backyard was getting pretty untenable, and I was sleeping at the studio.
Oh.
And I believe one night I just got very drunk. I was singing to myself, and unbeknownst to me, it was recorded.
Okay, and that's it.
And that's it. That's it. Wow.
Jerry, can you turn this fucking thing off?